There we are. Alright, greetings and good day, YouTube. How are you doing today? I myself am glad we finally got rid of the technical difficulties we were having 2 moments ago. We are going to be doing a bit of a spoiler playthrough for this series of Metal Gear, right? Not sure how long exactly we're going to go today. I do want to try to go a bit long, but we might actually end up... not finishing today and finishing this on Friday. So it's funny about these briefings. Do we actually get to... Yeah. Fun fact. This is the first video when you do the briefing.
It's been a long time, Snake.
If you leave this briefing, or try to leave this briefing early,
that's no way to
a special video plays.
Snake.
What do you want from me?
I just invited you here so we could have a talk.
Invited? That's what you call sending armed soldiers after me?
Sorry if they were a little rough with you.
So, like I said, this is going to be a spoiler playthrough, so we are going to go through these briefings really quickly.
I'm retired from You're not my commander anymore, and I don't have to...
This is not the first game in the Metal Gear franchise. That would be Metal Gear, and then Metal Gear 2.
I know it.
Then comes Metal Gear Solid. If you actually look through and look at the playthrough of Metal Gear 1 and 2,
She's chief of Foxhound's medical staff.
You'll,
and an expert in gene therapy.
Are you military?
You'll see how similar these games are to one another. And what I mean is, like, you fight a helicopter in Metal Gear 2 and stuff like that.
What's the shot for?
What's wrong?
These games are basically like a lot of similar events happen between them all. You fight a Hindy in this game. You fight a Harrier in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Remote island off the coast of Alaska.
What soldiers?
You can fight multiple Hindies in Metal Gear Solid 3, but it's not really a boss fight in that game.
Unit Foxhound.
Shadow Mose is a real island, by the way. It really exists.
And they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
The military base, not so much.
Nuclear weapon?
Not sure if that's actually existed or not. I doubt it.
See, the island is the site of a secret nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Foxhound hijacking a nuclear weapon?
Now you understand how serious the situation is.
I gotta step away after this
You'll
one.
have 2 mission objectives.
Oh, we're gonna go through a lot of this. I'm also gonna go
First,
through
you're to rescue the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson.
a lot of experiences that I had throughout playing these games, and secrets. Lots of
Both
secrets.
being held as hostages.
Not sure about codec calls.
Those are some heavy-duty hostages.
Secondly,
Well, I wanna-
you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a nuclear strike.
I want this to play out a
Stop
second.
them if they do.
Oh, also,
Any questions, Snake?
Questions? I haven't even said whether I'd accept this mission.
Well, you can make up your mind after you hear more about the situation.
now, right, if we try to leave, hello? Why is my controller not working? Oh, I know why it's not working. Son of a bitch. Hold up. There we go. All right. If we try to leave, special little video plays.
Colonel, I don't
Be right
work
back.
for the government anymore. Let me go back to Twin Lakes.
Why, Snake? Is your life in Alaska all that great?
There's a dog sled race this week. Next Saturday, I have to be in Anchorage.
The Iditarod? The longest sled race in the world? When did you become a dog musher?
Right now, my 50 Huskies are my only family. I've got to take care of them.
Don't worry about your dogs.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Snake, but this vessel is headed for the Bering Sea. There's no room for debate.
I told you, Even if I do owe you, I don't owe anything to this army or this country.
You will accept this assignment.
Why should I be stupid enough to do that? I'm no patriot.
Snake, there's enough dirt in your file from your days as an agent to keep you in the stockade until you're a very old man.
Oh, I see. Blackmail.
No, Snake. I prefer to look at it as helping you come to a decision more easily. But anyway, I know you better than that. You'd take this assignment even without the threat.
Why do you say that?
You're a natural-born soldier. You're not the grow old gracefully type. It's the same for all of us.
So this video only plays if you try and leave after the first video that plays when you initially enter the briefing.
I'm a soldier too. I know those feelings of powerlessness, frustration that you feel every day. You've tried to play the Boy Scout out there in Alaska, but you can't race dogs in the snow forever. Why don't you come back to us and be a soldier again?
You think my life is some kind of a joke?
Snake, I just want to give you back your purpose in life.
And there's a lot of shit they go over. And if I'm not mistaken, that video that just showed in the beginning, I might play it again just to hear that part. It does let you leave the briefing though. But hold on. It won't play it again if I try and leave, right? Yeah, it won't. Shit. It's a unique thing that only plays that one time. During it, I'm pretty sure Snake talks about the Iditarod, right? Not 100% sure. But there's also, you know how we were talking about Star Wars being at different times? This is the same way. Because as you can see on the camera, the first video showed then, and this is a continuation of that. So like right after we got done with what we were talking about in the first thing, the other one happens like 18 minutes later. So that doesn't happen. That part of the video does not happen until 18 minutes in or whatever it was, I think.
Not with this storm going on.
That's more of like just paying attention to the camera, I think.
Yes, within a few miles of it. The facility is equipped with sonar detection capabilities.
They will go over this shit
engine or propeller noise
in the game itself, but not with as much detail. And based off whether or not you do the VR missions, we'll also decide on a different dialogue that occurs at a certain point in time.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
Don't worry. That suit represents the latest advances in polythermal technology. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
So we're not really going to get too much into spoiler territory when it comes to a lot of stuff here, because this briefing, it pretty much only just goes over a lot of information that you will get as you play the game. But it also gives you a bit more detail, right? Like, we can figure out the operation numbers and then the detailed information about all this shit. Which, as someone who's watched these a couple times, I kind of know a lot of this. Like, a lot of this is stuck in my head.
What's the time limit?
24 hours. They say they'll launch after 24 hours.
Now, keep in mind, everything that's about to happen in this game is supposed to happen over the period of less than 24 hours. Because it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get set up, right? A couple of hours, probably. But yeah, they... Oh, if you press X, it leaves directly. Yeah, everything that's about to occur occurs over a less than 24-hour period in this game. Yep. In Metal Gear Solid 2, it's a couple of days. Metal Gear Solid 3, I think, has not the most time that passes. I think that actually goes to Metal Gear Solid 5. 4 is close, but 5, like, 4 you go over a couple of months of time. 5, I think, goes over, like, a couple years. One moment. Hello? Hello? Hi. Who may I ask who's speaking? Okay. You gotta love when you get a phone for like a new phone number and all these people start calling. Fucking. I don't own a car. So, your warranty's not gonna be very good with me. Oh, also, you see that camera free?
Colonel, who are you speaking
We
for?
Naturally, I'm representing the U.S. government.
can move
So who's in supervisory control of
the
this
camera.
operation?
The President of the United States.
Isn't that cool?
Which means that the president must be meeting with his top aides in the map room about now, huh?
No, at this point, there's still video.
And there might be
conferencing with
secrets
each
you could,
other.
like he's smoking a cigarette right there. There might be
Real
secrets that
nuclear
you can
warhead.
find if you
Shouldn't
look
we issue a
around.
COG?
Not yet.
Yeah, this is a game that
Secretary
came
of
out in
Defense is
98, by the
operational
way.
control and is fully aware
PlayStation
of the
1,
situation.
1998.
After you infiltrate, if you determine they possess nuclear launch capabilities,
I think you can
a
even, like,
COG
zoom
will be
and
issued.
shit, too, but I don't want to press the wrong
They haven't
button.
relocated to the nuclear shelter under Mount Washington. I suppose there isn't that much
No.
reason to worry.
No new
yet.
dialogue.
Is the National Security Agency in on this?
Yes. So is the DIA.
The only new dialogue you can possibly get is the one where you try to leave right after it does the introduction.
About this.
They'll be sending us some support.
We don't need desk jockeys. We need a nuclear weapons specialist.
Of course. A nuclear weapons specialist has already been assigned to us.
So I may actually have to look up a certain code later down the line. Because this game actually broke the fourth wall in quite a few
We need
times.
backup from a specialist.
And one of the few times that it broke the fourth wall is when you gotta contact Meryl later down the line. We can find out her codec call pretty early. Unless they say it here.
A female analyst?
Okay, Snake.
She's built up an impressive record.
Why
as
does
an
that
advisor
matter?
For the nuclear emergency search team. Contact her if you have any questions. She's also an expert.
Lost
in
her
high-tech
parents who
weapons.
did cleanup at
Where's she
Chernobyl.
working
Like, you get a fucking history
At her
of
home in Los Angeles.
what they've been through throughout their life and the kind of credentials they have and why they're a nuclear weapons expert, and they've been an advisor for a lot of other shit and all kinds of crazy shit you get if you actually pay attention to what's going on in these briefing files, right? There's a lot of story here.
Colonel, you're retired. Why are you involved in this?
Because there aren't many people who know Foxhound as well as I do.
Is that
And if
really
any of you
your
have any
reason?
questions at all,
I've been soldiering
feel
for
free
a
to
long
ask them,
time.
and I will do my best
I
to
don't know
answer them.
anything else. I guess even though I'm getting a little old, I still love to be in the field.
Colonel, you're a lousy
Colonel.
liar.
You're a
Tell
lousy
me the
liar.
real reason.
Okay, Snake. Sorry. I'll be frank.
But your name's
Person
Campbell.
Very dear to me is being held hostage.
Roar Campbell.
My niece.
Not Frank.
Meryl.
So they have Roar Campbell's niece, and this is information that might add more for later, right? That's the only reason I watched it. I don't have to do this. I could go over this later. But I like going over this every time I do a new playthrough because these briefing files are important. Because they do have a lot of information. And you can
What
go
was
through
your
the game
niece
without
doing
it,
here?
but
Several soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt. And my niece was one of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's my little brother's girl. He died in the Gulf War. Since then, I've been watching after her.
A personal motive, Colonel. That's not very soldierly.
I'm retired. I'm
has
just an old
received
man
a
now.
psychotherapy
And
not to
I'm
be
your
attracted
friend.
to those of the opposite sex.
Since when are we friends?
I've thought of us as friends since the fall of Zanzibar.
Spoiler alert, it did not work.
With my personality, I don't have too many friends.
Yes, Yuri?
That's what I trust about you. It's what makes you human. Please, Snake.
You're only human,
My niece
after all.
All
Put
right.
the blame on
But I
me.
have two conditions.
Name them.
Oh, gambling and
No more
Genshin?
secrets
Oh,
between
what?
us. I
No
want
more
complete
secrets.
disclosure at all times. And two, I'll only accept orders directly from you, Colonel. No cutoffs involved, okay?
Agreed. That's why I was called. But one thing,
Let's
What?
go.
I'm not a colonel
Told you you'd get the
anymore,
RNG
just a
you wanted.
retired old war horse.
Eventually, it
I
happens.
understand,
Let's go.
Colonel.
Look at the little smirk. Little fucking smirk they do. Colonel. Also, notice something. Notice our character's hair, right? You notice how in these videos, these VHS tapes,
That doctor.
our
is she
character's
part of
hair
this
is pretty
operation, too?
bright, isn't
In
it?
charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She knows more about those men than anyone else.
You mean you've seen them naked?
Make no mistake, I'm not a nurse. I'm a scientist.
Hello, Naomi.
By the way, what was that injection for?
It's a combination of
Nanomachines,
and
son!
freezing peptide so that your blood and
Also,
other bodily
something
fluids
else in there. A
will
little
freeze
something
even
else,
at subarctic
you know?
temperatures.
Nanomachines.
A little something,
Not
something.
just one kind either. There are different types which will replenish the supply of adrenaline, nutrition, and sugar in your bloodstream.
Oh, now I don't have to worry about food.
I also put some nootropics in there.
Say what?
Nootropics. A class of drugs which will help improve your mental functioning.
It'll make me smarter, huh? Anything else?
No,
Yes.
no, it will not,
Benzodrine.
Snake.
It's a type of stimulant. It'll keep you alert and responsive for 12 straight hours.
That was quite a cocktail. Anything else in there?
Those nanomachines will also keep your Codex batteries charged up.
You hear that?
I guess I can call
The third
you
time he
when I'm
asks
ready
if
to
there's
go on
anything
that
else in
diet.
there, she just talks about
Welcome.
the codec. She doesn't answer him, doesn't say if there's anything else or not. Right? It's little shit like that. Little shit like that you pay attention to that'll come into play later, and there's a reason I'm bringing it up. Again, spoiler alert. There's more shit in the fucking shot. I keep pressing X instead of going over. It's a hard thing to get used to because the action, the button that makes you do shit, is not X. It is circle. And now, the meat of what we're going to be doing. And again, there's probably going to be spoilers sprinkled in here.
The chief of DARPA and the president of an arms manufacturing
That
company.
is actually
What business did they have at a nuclear weapons
Sig it.
disposal facility?
The
From Metal Gear
truth is
Solid
that
3,
secret exercises were being conducted
the
at
DARPA
time
chief,
terrorist group
the
attack.
AT president.
Extremely important exercises if those two were directly involved.
I don't think
Were they
he has
testing
any
some kind of new
association with the
advanced
previous
weapon?
Metal Gears.
I'm not privy to
Maybe
that
referenced?
information.
Do we know exactly where they're being held?
He's referenced in 3, I
The
think.
DARPA chief has also been injected with a mini transmitter. As you get closer, you should be able to pick up his location on your radar.
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuclear missile?
They say they do. They even gave us the serial number of the warhead they plan to use.
Alright,
What's the number
square
confirmed?
goes back,
I'm afraid
triangle
so.
goes zoom in.
At the very least, they've got their hands on a real nuclear warhead.
Isn't there some kind of safety device to prevent this type of terrorism?
Yes. Every missile and warhead in our arsenal
Circle
is equipped
changes
with a
camera.
PAL, which uses a discrete detonation code.
How?
Permissive Action Link. The safety control system built into all nuclear weapons systems. But even so, we can't rest easy.
Why not?
But I'm glad I'm
Because the
good luck
DARPA
charm
chief
for you,
knows the
Yuri, if that's how you
detonation code.
if that's how you feel.
But even if they have a nuclear warhead, it must have been removed from its missile. All the missiles
missile
on its
knows where it
disposal sites
is.
are supposed to be dismantled. It's not that easy to get your hands on an ICBM.
That used to be true. But since the end of the Cold War, you can get anything if you have enough money and the right connections.
And that is still the truth.
How well armed are these terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 members of Foxhound in charge are all hardened veterans. They're tough enough to eat nails and ask for seconds.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Fox.
Remember, our character
The others
used to
are next
be
generation
Foxhound.
Special Forces. They're not your average grunts either.
codename Snake, during the events of Metal Gear 1 and 2, that caused us to want to not only leave Foxhound, but the military overall, and have like a quiet life type of situation going on. I'll go over the details of Metal Gear 1 and 2 in a moment.
So what exactly are they demanding?
A person's remains.
Remains?
That's right. To be more accurate, cell specimens which contain the individual's genomic information.
Cell specimens? Why would they want that?
The terrorists need them. You see, these next-generation special forces have been strengthened through gene therapy.
Again,
Strengthened.
You've heard of the human genome.
Snake's hair looks pretty
They've been
light,
mapping
and the
the
beard
human
too, don't
genome,
it?
And they're nearly finished. Following up on this research, the military has been working towards identifying those genes which are responsible for making effective soldiers.
There are genes that do that?
Yes. And using gene therapy, they're able to transplant those genes into regular soldiers.
Gene therapy?
I'll explain this part. With gene therapy, we can remove those genes which we know may lead to sickness or disease, and at the same time splice in genes with beneficial effects, such as resistance to cancer, for example.
In other words, we can overcome all sorts of genetic diseases, and at the same time add genetic characteristics as desired.
Okay. And so if you knew what genes were responsible for making the perfect soldier, you could implant them in the same way, right?
Yes, we could.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify those soldier genes.
And in order to do that, it's helpful if you can study the genomic information of one of the greatest soldiers ever.
Big Boss. The greatest soldier ever is Big Boss. Big Boss, not to be mistaken with the Boss, is a character who was doing a lot of their activity during the era. Like Big Boss started out during the Cold War, and is a very important character to the lore of all of Metal Gear, as is the boss.
Greatest soldiers ever?
The man they call the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
You don't mean Big Boss.
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify the genes responsible for his incredible combat skill. So far, we've discovered about 60 of the so-called soldier genes.
So his body was recovered after all.
Yes, and his cells have remained frozen in a cryo chamber. His genomic information is a priceless treasure to mankind.
Priceless to the military, perhaps.
His body was burned severely, but it was possible to restore his DNA profile.
Sorry about
from
that.
just a single
You know how they
strand
said
of his
burned
hair.
severely? Do you want to know what burned him severely? Snake with a lighter
Yes.
and a can of
We use a
hairspray.
process that I discovered called gene targeting. The strongest soldiers don't become what they are by acquiring their skills through training or experience. We now know that hereditary
I'm not
factors are
joking.
far more crucial for creating superior soldiers.
Snake, we can't...
That's what killed Big Boss.
It's potentially more
Hey.
dangerous than all the nuclear warheads on that island put together.
Yeah,
The terrorists are calling
I mean,
themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
The Sons of Big Boss.
that name becomes important for Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. No, Metal Gear Solid 2, my bad. Because they go Sons of... It goes from Big Boss to the Patriots to Guns of the Patriots. You feel... No, wait until we get into the storyline of it. No, you don't need to feel bad. Because Big Boss... mentally... is fucked up. Because... in Metal Gear Solid 3... In Metal Gear Solid 3, you get a mission where basically you have to go rescue a dude. That mission doesn't turn out the way that you think it would, and then you end up going from rescuing dude to assassinating the boss, which is what makes you become Big Boss, right? Because Metal Gear Solid 3 is a prequel. And normally I complain about prequels, but Metal Gear Solid 3 is not a direct prequel. For fuck's sake, this is happening back in the 2000s, timeline-wise, and Metal Gear Solid 3 happens in the fucking 60s. Anyways, after the events of Metal Gear Solid 3, Big Boss leaves the military and becomes a a merc leader. He leads a mercenary organization that does odd jobs for different groups, primarily like the CIA, stuff like that. Well, a bunch of shit happens in Peace Walker and stuff like that I'm not going to get into right now. And then a bunch of shit happens in Ground Zeroes. And then a bunch of shit happens in 5. That leads to him like Big Boss's goal basically is to create a world where you need soldiers, right? And you have to hire these soldiers to do what you need to do. And we're going to be the soldiers that need to be hired, right? We're going to be the military leaders of the world type of thing. That's the world that he wanted to create. And to do that, in Metal Gear 1, he tried to use Metal Gear in order to take over the world, basically. And in Metal Gear 2, he had the scientist working on a power supply kidnapped to finish or rebuild Metal Gear, and then you find out that the person that you fought in Metal Gear 1 wasn't really Big Boss. That was just a decoy. And then in Metal Gear 2, you fight the actual Big Boss, and you finish him with the flamethrower can spray thing. But you also face off against Gray Fox at some point in a minefield, which Gray Fox is classified as the best agent of Foxhound, right? Anybody who gets the codename of Fox is a really fucking good agent, right? Like, even better than Snake kind of idea behind the codenames, right? You have Snake, Ocelot, Mantis, Raven. Those are all the codenames of the characters. And they're going to get into that right here.
Tell me about these next generation special forces.
They started out as an anti-terrorist.
The irony: anti-terrorist special ops unit becoming a terrorist
technical
group.
escort units and a nuclear emergency search team. Their purpose was to respond to threats involving
NEST.
next-generation
Nuclear
weapons of
Emergency
mass
Search Team
destruction,
is NEST for short.
including NBC weapons.
Until they were added, that is.
They is
These guys didn't start out as regular army.
Foxhound people.
Looks like a pretty international group. Mercenaries?
Yeah, and it gets worse. Most of them were from a merc agency that I think you're familiar with. They were part of Big Boss's private guard. And after Big Boss went down, the military just bought out all their contracts.
Outer heaven.
Yep, Outer Heaven.
After that, they were merged with our own VR unit, Force 21, and retrained. If you ask me, these so-called next-generation special forces should be called simulated soldiers. They have no real battle experience.
Video game players, huh?
Don't forget
The
they've all
fucking
been
fact that I've
strengthened with
seen
gene therapy.
interviews with
They carry
people
genes which
that have
make them
talked about
excellent soldiers.
playing a game like
Careless just because
War
they don't
Thunder,
have much
helping them
experience.
figure out where to aim on tanks to
thought
take out the
using
tank
genetically
is
modified
fucking
soldiers was
insane
prohibited
that
by
that's a real
international
thing.
law.
Like,
Yes.
real video
Those are
game
just
players
declarations, not actual treaties.
can use that knowledge in war.
The interesting thing
What
is
the
that
fuck?
nearly every member of the unit conspired in this attack.
Yeah, that's a suspicious thing, isn't it? It's very suspect that, for whatever reason, everybody agreed to do this attack. Everybody agreed to become a traitor to their country.
How could an entire unit be subverted to
We know,
rebellion?
I know
They're
how.
calling it a revolution.
Since they all went through the same gene therapy, they probably felt closer than brothers. They see the unit as their only family.
The sons of Big Boss. But if they were regular army,
There's a
must
reason
have
they
been
call
interviewed
themselves
periodically
that.
by army counselors.
According to their files, they all got straight A's on their psychological tests. They all seemed like fine, upstanding, patriotic soldiers.
But they all took part in the uprising?
No, several people didn't show up on the day of the exercise. That's why there was a resupply of troops.
Was there any sign recently that something might be wrong?
There was a report a month ago that they were acting strangely.
Apparently,
month
they
ago.
consulted classified information about the soldier genes and performed their own gene therapy experiments.
They can do that even without you?
Well, our gene therapy process is almost completely automated. And besides that, they're all geniuses with IQs over 180.
Even the existence of this genome army is a national secret of the highest order.
Keep that in mind for the future,
Hoping to
too.
investigate this thing quietly and deal with it behind closed doors.
Because there's a lot of shit that happens later. There really is. Like, once you have that foreknowledge,
Special Forces unit
here they are.
Foxhound,
Here we are.
Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of. An elite group combining firepower and expertise. They're every bit as good as when I was commanding them.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity.
Psycho Mantis in the back.
Mantis,
Yep.
with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman.
Goat.
And Revolver
Raven is like,
Ocelot,
well,
specialist
Ocelot
in
goes without saying.
interrogation
Ocelot's
and a
just the
formidable
best.
gunfighter.
But Raven
Looks like a lovely
is
bunch of
goated.
folks. Too bad we'll be meeting under these circumstances.
And finally,
Wait, look.
in charge
This
of
is
them,
very important.
Foxhound squad leader,
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
We're Solid Snake.
Yes. And you're the only person who can stand against him.
His eye's twitching. I just noticed for the first time ever, his fucking eye twitched. His eye actually fucking twitched there. I noticed that for the first time. So, Liquid Snake. This is the important part. My bad. I jumped ahead. I forgot that that was a separate video.
Liquid Snake.
So, you see how this says 16 minutes right now?
The man with the same code name as you.
Tell me what you know.
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS.
Name unknown.
His job was to track down and destroy mobile
1970s, born in the U.S., moved to England upon birth,
platforms.
works
You were there too, I believe. Didn't you infiltrate
for British
Western
Special
Iraq
Forces
with
SAS to destroy the
Green
mobile
Berets?
Scud missile launchers in the
Kid
Gulf
myself
War.
back then.
POW of Iraq and was declared a MIA.
Originally, he
Recovered
penetrated the
a
Middle
couple years
East
later.
as a sleeper
Joined
for the
Foxhound in
SIS.
2000. Was
He was
it?
a spy for the British Secret
Fluent in
Intelligence
7
Service?
languages such as English, Spanish,
Never
French,
once
Malay.
showed his face in Century
Speaks
House.
Arabic.
He was
as
taken
well.
prisoner in Iraq, and after that there was no trace of him for several years. After you retired, he was rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
I thought that by the time I left, they were no longer using code names.
I don't know his real name. That information is so highly classified that even I can't look at it. Here's a photo of him. Pretty shocking, huh? His skin tone is different, but otherwise you two are exact duplicates.
I have a twin?
I don't know the details, but it's
Technically, everybody has a doppelganger.
That's why we really need
right?
you for this mission.
Technically, there are about
You're the
7
only one who can beat
doppelgangers out in
Now that
existence.
I've met you, I know. You've got something that he doesn't. I can see it in your eyes.
Why don't I find that thought more comforting?
So, notice how it says 182308 right there? The video that I first showed, the one where after the mission description I left, was the video that shows after all this shit, but it will only show if you try to leave when the mission description first plays. Right? Now, at some point, I'm not sure, then this plays after that. See how it says 23 after that?
Don't
So
worry,
you got to
I'm
keep
just
in
gonna
mind,
clean
that's the Star
myself
Wars
up
thing that I was talking about.
Huh?
You got to take that
I don't wanna be
frame
mistaken for the
and
leader
put
of
it in between
terrorists.
what we just saw and this. He cuts his hair. But he does more than cuts his hair, he also dyes it. So, that whole briefing, now we could do the VR training. Realistically, the VR training is not really going to do much, except let us practice. There's like quite a few missions. There's basic and then there's advanced. If you go through and do the VR training, you get a couple of new dialogues that occur. I'm not going to do that because realistically, I just kind of wanted to get into the... We're just going to do normal. I just wanted to get into the fucking game. I didn't expect to watch 20-some minutes of briefing, but I did because I wanted to, like, show the thing. Now, while we're going through and waiting for this, I can talk about how in Metal Gear Solid 5, we actually, the only thing we really miss out on is Venom Snake collecting all these individuals, or Naked Snake, as they're known as, or Big Boss, collecting all the people that were previously mentioned. You know, Sniper, Wolf, Psycho Mantis. Psycho Mantis is actually a boy, a kid, in Metal Gear Solid 5. That's Liquid Ocelot. He said he's going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies. The bothersome flies he's talking about are F-16 jets that he takes out with a Russian gunship, a Hind D, a helicopter. He takes out jets in a fucking helicopter. That's how skillful he is.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface, but make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85.
Luckily, we do not have
when
to
you use the codec, push the select button.
do that.
When we need to contact you, the codec will beep.
Like, we don't have to
When you
remember
hear
that?
noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
So, fun fact, the way the codec works in Metal Gear Solid 2 is a bit different. It actually acts as a means of, like, being able to mute your voice. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'll have to show it off when we eventually get to Metal Gear Solid 2. But yeah, this is probably going to take a bit longer than I had intended for it to, realistically, because, I mean, mind you, I don't really have to do all the codec calls this playthrough. There's a lot of codec calls, though, that I kind of want to go over if I try and remember them. Square to grab. Get both rations. Now you should turn around.
What was that noise?
IQ over 180, people.
Snake, there's an
Elevator,
elevator you
yeah.
can take up to the ground.
We gotta wait for it to come back
You
down.
have to wait for the elevator to come down. You better hide somewhere. Snake, don't forget this is a covert operation. There are lots of bad guys and only one of you.
A lot of these are like
Spot will be
obvious shit.
surrounded before you know it.
If that happens, you're finished.
First, go to the elevator.
But
in the
there are
back,
a lot
take it
of
up to the
codec
ground
calls.
floor. Then look for the
One of the
top
perfect
chief.
examples of what I mean by a lot of codec calls is if you look at the optional thing for Metal Gear Solid Rise and Revengeance, and you look at all the codec calls you can manually listen to for each episode, there's like several hundred codec calls that are kind of unique in some way, shape, or form. And you have to sometimes go through a lot of these to actually get all the information that you would possibly want or desire for how much lore there is for these games, right? Like, it starts off, as you can see, we don't really have a lot of information. And I didn't really have a lot of information my first playthrough of this game. I honestly played through this game without doing any of the briefing, listening to the codec calls. I did none of that, right? I didn't even pay attention to cutscenes. I skipped shit until later down the line. I'll get more into story time later. However, for the most part, you kind of get drip-fed a lot of information from the previous games as well, so you're not like completely blind when you go through. The same can be said for Metal Gear Solid 2. You do get drip-fed certain information, but at the end of the day, it's better if you've gone through and played the previous games. like a glove. But yeah, so far, the basic premises of what you should be aware of at this point in time is you used to be part of Foxhound. The person who used to lead Foxhound was actually Big Boss. He sent you on a mission to go rescue Gray Fox and somebody else. Oh, the person who's like a roboticist or something like that. I'm gonna have to step away here in a moment. At a certain point, the reveal happens and you get betrayed and caught. You escape. After you escape, you then are forced to fight Metal Gear and kill Big Boss, and then you're forced to fight Gray Fox. It's in Metal Gear Solid 2 where you officially kill Big Boss and get rid of Metal Gear again. And then Metal Gear Solid, where you, for a third time, end up facing off against Metal Gear. This is a pretty long cutscene, so I'm going to step away and I should be back before we're ready to go. Enjoy. Behind D, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy, I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed. There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as
See,
our
that's the one
visual
good thing
data
about this game,
processing
right?
specialist. She designed
Oh,
the
the
codec,
the
as well as your
canonical order.
Soliton
All
radar
right,
system.
so
Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself.
he doesn't like being called a legend.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
Honestly,
You're
thinking
just
about the previous
flattering me.
conversation we
No,
had about
serious.
cats
Well, I
just
know I
being
won't be
reincarnated
bored for the next
soldiers,
18 hours.
I could see it because if Snake was a cat, he'd be a bastard.
Famous solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both
Do you
have a
want
lot
the
to learn about each
timeline
other.
order of
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid?
I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system.
Chronological order of all the Metal Gear games.
The bright dot in the middle is your Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field
When
of
this is
vision.
over, I'll go over the
Be
list.
careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you. He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
So, like I said, the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, is actually codenamed Sigint,
Snake, your radar
and
isn't
that's
detected by the
important for
weapon,
Metal Gear
but
Solid
if you're
3.
discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
We'll get into that when it
Yes,
becomes
it
more
gets
relevant.
jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing
And it's not going to be
technology.
relevant for a
You
while.
won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Also, Dr. Clark,
Seriously,
there's a
Snake,
reference for
we're here
that
to back
too.
you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status.
We will be
My
saving a
frequency
couple of
is
times.
140.196.
Just to show what,
It's a dedicated frequency for saving data.
what's
Don't
awesome about
forget
Mei
it.
Ling.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with
5.56
5.56
and pineapples.
Pineapples.
The FAMAS is a 5.56 caliber weapon, and the pineapples are grenades. That's something that I did not understand for the
What about
longest
the
time on my
air
first
duct near the
playthrough.
door?
Or when I was younger. When I was a young warthog!
There should also be a duct on the second floor.
We're gonna actually go through the duct on the second floor.
I can't see it from here.
There's a special
I'll
cutscene
let
you
you
only
decide the
get
best COA.
if you go through that
I'm counting
course of
on you,
action,
Snake.
I think. Anyways, to tell you the order, because there's a couple games that and did you see, look, right into the game. It went right into the game there. That's pretty cool. Metal Gear Solid 3 is the first game. It takes place in 1964. You got Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, 1970. I've not played it. You got Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, 1974, which is what I played on. I did a playthrough of that with a PSP emulator. It's one of the only games that I had for PSP, but I never really enjoyed that playstyle. I probably won't play it again, even though I enjoyed the game. I'll go over the lore when it becomes pertinent. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, which Ground Zeroes takes place in 75, and Phantom Pain takes place in 84. Then you got Metal Gear 95, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake 1999, and then Metal Gear Solid, which takes place in 2005. Right? Metal Gear Solid 2 Solid Snake. No, hold up. You do that. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake was the one before Metal Gear Solid. My bad. Metal Gear Solid 2 takes place in 2007, 2009. Oh, wait. Apparently, there's a game called Ghost Babel that takes place in 2002. Don't know anything about Ghost Babel. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2, then Metal Gear Solid 4, and finally Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance. That is the timeline order of the games. Now, the reason why I brought up Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker as playing it but not wanting to go through it again is primarily because... Oh shit. Ah! We got the alert. We didn't get caught, but we still got the alert. That kind of sucks. Anyways, the playstyle is like very awkward and kind of clunky for portable, but it has a lot of lore elements that lead directly into Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, right? Like, I've played through Phantom Pain before, but I had never played through Ground Zeroes or Peace Walker. But after playing through those games, I got a lot more knowledge about certain characters, the interaction of them, why they're relevant and stuff like that. Like, we learned a lot more about...
Huh?
Oh,
Whose
shit.
footprints are these?
Oh, shit. That's their 180 IQ going good. Oh, fuck off. Stop me right there. Rude. It's a bit awkward because of the way this controls. So we gotta be careful not to get spotted. I mean, it doesn't matter. I could just bum rush through. Oh, wait. Shit. There we go. Wanted to get the SOCOM. Almost forgot to get the pistol. There's also another couple of things we can get, but I gotta wait till these two assholes leave out the front of the fucking van. I might end up playing all the Metal Gear games. Damn it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, oh no. There we go. We got the SOCOM, stun grenade, chaff grenade. So I'm happy about that. SIGs, ration, and scope. Let's see what Colonel has to say.
Good. You've got yourself a weapon. To use it, first hold down the R2 button to enter weapon mode. Then select the weapon you want with the directional button. After you've selected the weapon you want, let go of the R2 button.
I love the fourth wall breaking.
The weapon you selected should appear in your hand. To use the weapon, follow the directions displayed in the window. If you use the R1 button, you can equip your weapon more quickly. While you're barehanded, press the R1 button to equip the last weapon you used. Press the R1 button while you're holding a weapon to be barehanded again. Don't fire your gun needlessly, or you might be discovered. If you had a gun with a
We can get a suppressor?
it would be a different story. If you have any questions about weapons,
But I'm not sure.
You should ask our military analyst, Nastasha. Her frequency is 141.52.
I think we can only get it after a certain point. 14152. 14152.
Snake, your mission is to infiltrate, not to fight. Don't let the enemy see you. You didn't waste any time in getting spotted, did you? Too bad. Looks like your cover is blown. Proceed with extreme caution.
So they do have a comment
First,
to say
you
if you
gotta
get
rescue the
spotted,
DARPA chief.
right?
Infiltrate the building in front.
Like, there's little things that they do. They add that, right? If you don't get caught and you talk to them, until you're supposed to, like, there's certain moments where, like, you're obviously been spotted, right? we could go up to technically the first encounter, first boss fight. I don't know if you would really call it a boss fight. This is the earliest I think I've ever talked to Natasha. Or Nastasha. Nastasha.
A pleasure to work with you, Solid Snake.
You're the nuclear specialist that the Colonel mentioned?
That's me. You can ask me anything about nukes that you want. I am also a military analyst, so I have an extensive knowledge of weapon systems as well.
What can you tell me about the SOCOM U.S. Navy? U.S. Navy, or whatever the hell they call this weapon.
Nuclear emergency search team.
I always try and say SOCOM U.S. Navy SEAL because of that fucking PlayStation 2 game.
To get their hands on nuclear weapons of any kind. I hope I can help you to stop them.
You're a tough lady.
Those terrorists are serious about launching a nuclear weapon? The world cannot stand by idly and allow that to happen, and neither can I. Unfortunately, all I can do from here is provide you with
Now, fun fact, in Metal Gear Solid 2, there's actually a couple of things that we could read, like books, what have you. And one of the things we can read is actually something written by her after the events of this, and it actually introduces us to a couple characters we meet later in that game. I'll kind of go over the bullet point notes in Metal Gear Solid 2 when we get there. But...
Good.
This is one of the coolest things about these games, in my opinion.
Special Operations Command pistol. It's a 45 caliber pistol with plenty of stopping power. It's also equipped with a LAM for nighttime combat. If you hold down the weapon button, you can train the laser sight on the enemy to help you aim. If you find a SOCOM suppressor, you can equip that too. That pistol was designed specifically for use by special forces, so I think it will be useful. Some people find it a little heavy and hard to use, but it shouldn't be a problem for you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island was built at the beginning of this century. It was made only to temporarily store the nuclear warheads.
Now here's what's funny.
If they wanted to dispose of them, why wouldn't
well,
they just
Green is a good day,
dismantle them
Next
right
Token.
away?
How are you doing today? What are you stuck on?
You see,
What are you stuck on?
a warhead, you still have nuclear material
To the
that must be
armory.
stored. At this point, all of the nuclear material storage facilities are way past capacity. But they could not stop dismantling weapons while at the same time pushing Start 2.
So you're telling me that this base was built so they could temporarily avoid being in conflict with Start 2?
Most people think that we live in a safer world now. But with all the
I'm actually kind of at a loss. What exactly does it mean by your soft lock?
Terrorism has increased tremendously.
It's ironic, isn't it?
Like, are you stuck behind a door? Well, that's what I'm trying to say. How can, like, you have to travel all the way back there, right? Do you have cardboard boxes? This is the first time I've ever heard. This is the first time I've ever heard about the elevator not working. Like, the elevator not taking... I mean, no, I'll be honest. Sometimes I have moments like that, too, where I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. We'll be back in, like, 2 minutes. Gotcha. At the end of the day, don't be too hard on yourself. Trust me, I've had moments like that, too. It's the most obvious thing. I've played this game about 15 times, at least. And I still have moments where I'll do something stupid and fuck up. Or forget about something. We're gonna ignore that because it's just telling us about going into the thing. But yeah, if you have any questions, is this your first time playing the game? I mean, I'm not gonna make that assumption, even though it seems... Never mind, no clue. Well, I'm about to get close to where I'm at to get to the armory. I'm just so, like, I'm confused about what that means, about, like, you can't get down there.
It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation.
You don't accidentally have, like, a demo version. No, if you had a demo version of the game, that wouldn't work.
Some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
I'll talk to you in a moment. Hold up, I want to check this out. I'm so very curious now, in all honesty. So this is... I see there's an ad playing, and I see the little window right now. So this is the... Armory from... Wait. Are you gotta walk up to the elevator itself. First of all. So I can see what you're looking at. Like, act like you're gonna try and use the elevator to go down or up or whatever. Because... Are you... Oh, you gotta go farther back. You gotta go farther back more. I just realized you're trying to get the, Yeah, you're in the wrong area. You gotta go past the tank. Back in through that room. That's where you gotta go. For the sniper rifle, right? The sniper rifle? I just realized, if you gotta go back for the sniper rifle, you gotta go back to, like, not that field where you fought the tank, because that's where you're in the room after you fought the tank. You gotta go back all the way back. Like in the area that I'm about to enter, right up here. That elevator, in this area. Hold on, let me go through. Yeah, there's this cutscene, hold up.
I moved the Darker Chief to the cell in the first floor basement.
Because if you're trying to get the sniper rifle...
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
Yeah, you gotta go to the first floor, head back.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell.
Because the room with the
Don't get
tanks
careless now.
is where you gotta go. Yeah.
Did something happen?
There's an intruder.
This room.
Really?
He's already done 3 people.
And then you take the elevator
He's killed
down.
3 people?
And that's where the armory's at.
Say he's using stealth, too.
Stealth? There's an intruder besides me?
Anyway, I want you to increase the security detail on the Chief.
The elevator is, I gotta go through this vent, but the elevator's actually in the room with the 2 tanks. The room that I'm about to enter now, you actually have to go back farther. Do you remember where you fought the tank? To get through to the nuclear area. Hold up.
No, I don't remember fighting.
You don't remember fighting the tanks? Oh god. Oh god. So, I gotta get out of this vent. Hold on a second. Oh god. Because the elevator you're at the wrong elevator. You gotta go up to the first floor, go back. There's an area in the lower right-hand corner where you have to crouch down and crawl under. Yeah, the elevator you're looking for is right... Where is it? It's below me. Yeah, the elevator's below me, right here. This is the elevator you're looking for, right here. Okay, so we can't jump over like that. But yeah, this area, it gives you that cutscene. You only get that cutscene if you if you go through that area. Yeah, right-hand side. For a minute, I was like, that doesn't make sense why it's not showing up. I've done that before by mistake. I've done that same exact thing. There's an elevator. There's a couple of different elevators. But yeah, this is the area you got to get back to get to the elevator over there. Farina. There's a lot of characters I've heard about. I think I've heard about that character before. Please? Oh, is it this then? Oh, do I not do the elevator yet? Come on. No, I do the elevator, I just don't remember. Oh, no, that's not the elevator, dumbass. The elevator's over here. Whoops, my bad, my bad. See? Everybody has those little brain farts sometimes. There we go. This is the elevator you need. And B2 takes you to the armory now. This is the elevator you need. This is the armory. This is what you're looking for, right? This place down here. You gotta go back. I can't go there now because I just started a new game. But, yeah. You gotta backtrack a bit. Past the, you gotta go, after you get off the elevator, you gotta go to the left, down, and then all the way to the right. And after you get all the way to the right, you have to crouch and then crawl underneath the... whatever the hell kind of door it's called. And then backtrack past there. There'll be the snowy field where there's a destroyed tank. You go past that, then you enter that main area. There might be some lasers you'll have to dodge. So if you don't have thermal goggles, or you'll have to use your cigarette smoke to see the laser, then go through so you don't get gassed. I think. I don't know if the lasers are there for the second time. I can't quite remember, but yeah. Just gotta backtrack a little bit more. Oh, thank you for becoming a citizen of the kingdom there. Next token. I'm very much appreciating it. Hey, hey. If it doesn't work, I would be surprised. Why can't I use the elevator now? Oh, shit. I pressed triangle, not circle. Just kill me. Just kill me. Hey, it's fine. I just know you gotta backtrack a bit more, because I know what part you're at. If you need the sniper rifle, it's one of the more annoying parts of the game where you have to backtrack, because you have to backtrack all the way to the beginning of the game, pretty much. I have a fun fact. If you're still here, I can show you a little secret. You can't see it now unless you start a new game, but there's a little secret that I gotta show off. Couple little secrets, anyways.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
I've played this game a lot. I've played this game at least 15 times. Appreciate that. But, no, I didn't want to do that. My bad.
Look at the radar.
Yeah, I want to save. Please tell me I didn't screw up and you're going to be talking after this. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think. Where that would even be. I don't even remember. I mean, that's why I know as much as I do. Like, you could ask me almost about anything of these games and I would probably know it. I know a lot of different secrets. I know a lot of different... I think I memorized the codec call. I always love doing this. Oh, you don't interact. That's right. You don't interact. That's not until Metal Gear 2. So, fun fact the first, we're actually going to have to go up and down the elevator a couple of times. Or ladder. The reason we're going to have to go up and down the ladder a couple of times is because there's a specific sequence that we can only get if we go up and down the ladder. 2 years, that's crazy. So it is one of the more annoying things to see, but it's worth it.
Is that a woman?
Say hello to Meryl. Currently doing crunches. I say currently because if you leave this area, you go down the ladder, and you come back up, she'll be doing something different. She has, I think, 2 sets of 3 exercises that she does. So this is something that, again, not a lot of people know about because it's kind of a weird way, like you have to prevent yourself from progressing forward, go back, and then keep doing that a couple times. I think, like I said, 6 times. I did it by accident the first time. Completely by accident. Now she's doing 1-armed push-ups. So yeah, there's that. I'm trying to think of if there's any other secrets. There's a couple differences if you don't pick up the SOCOM. If you don't pick up the SOCOM, you actually have a slightly altered cutscene. Oh, Johnny. Hi, Johnny.
Kinda damn cold. I hate Alaska. Boy, oh boy, that woman is built all right.
Odd that he was going to the restroom with his pants pulled up, but okay. Sure. And then we see an office room with more ammo. There's also, I think, a glitch, hilariously enough, in one of the other versions of the game, or maybe this version you can do it in too, where if you do shit right, you can actually use this vent here to kind of break the game. And, like, there's like an in-between area where if you get, like, right here, or something like that, and you actually can get up while in the wall, and you can walk around and actually phase through to go to this area and basically skip like 80% of the game. That's a glitch though. Not really going over glitches. I'll talk about them because there's a couple of glitches that I know about that I think are pretty cool. That was one of them. I don't know how exactly to do it, and I'm not going to try. But if we look at Meryl again, she should be doing a wall stretch thing. Wall stretch. I'm not going to do it 3 more times. I'm only going to do it 1 more time, then I'm going to continue with the main story, because she does the same exact exercise cycle you saw, but there's a slight alteration to the character's design. Again, this is something that I don't think a lot of people would know about, even if they've gone through the game a couple of times. Because the only reason I know about this is because I messed up and accidentally went the wrong way. And I saw this area, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know there was a thing to drop down. I dropped down, I was like, oh crap. And then I looked at Meryl again, and she was doing something different, and I was like, wait a minute, how many times can we do this? And then I started to experiment more with, like, codec calls and stuff like that. The same with that cutscene where you go to the vents on the upper section out in that snowfield. Way earlier. She's not wearing pants anymore. And I lied. I did say I was only going to do it that one other time, but to show you the other exercise cycle, she's going to be doing the one-armed push-ups next, and then she would be doing... Then I'll go continue the main story. But yeah, that, blew my fucking mind back in the day. Because I was like, wait, that's allowed? They can do that? Like, have random shit like that in games? Because I always thought a lot of the, like, I didn't comprehend the concept of collectibles and shit like that back in the day. I didn't quite realize what that meant for the programming of the game. Let alone Easter eggs. Which, this game has plenty. But yeah. It's just that, right? Hold on, I lied. I gotta do it 7 times now. Because I'm pretty sure the 7th time she should be wearing pants again. I don't know if we have to go look at Meryl to activate it, but I'm going to do that just in case. Because I don't remember if there's anything else besides this. There shouldn't be. There's this. What other Easter eggs do I know of? There's one that we can only do after a certain boss fight. Actually, technically after 2 certain boss fights. There's probably more Easter eggs in Metal Gear Solid 2, if I'm being honest, that I can remember off the top of my head. There's a couple from Metal Gear Solid 2 that I really don't know, though. Like, I know they exist, but I don't know how to replicate them. And this should be back to the crunches on the bed. But yeah, this is one of the many pieces of evidence that I have about Hideo Kojima being a pervert, because of Easter eggs like this that exist. Yeah, it just goes back to the regular cycle then. And then it tells us how to look down.
Snake, the DARPA chief's signal is coming from somewhere in that area. Isn't there some place to drop down? Take a look around in first-person view mode.
Now, mind you, the 15 times that I talked about playing this game are the times that I remember. I played this game a lot, maybe more than 15.
Isn't there some place to drop
okay,
down?
so yeah, it just repeats that. No, I didn't want to...
Snake, the DARPA...
And story time. So, like I said, we're not at the point where I'm ready to start skipping cutscenes, because I still love the storyline of these games.
that?
Now that is the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson. Or is it?
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent here to save your worthless butt.
Really? It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry.
There's something
First,
so, like,
about the terrorists.
chef's kiss
The terrorists?
about how they
really have
talk.
the ability to launch
Their
a
head
nuke.
just moves,
What are
that's
you
it.
talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
This is the game that I'd like to see
Is it
added to
possible?
modern
It's possible.
consoles and shit
They-
like that. Like, a remake of this game.
How do they plan to launch?
Hi, Meryl.
I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
What I'm about to tell you is classified information. Okay? We were conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A weapon that will change the world.
I love this so much.
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear. There's always such a long pause
Metal
between.
Gear. It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, it's grown into a huge joint project between Arms Tech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data and then proceed to mass production.
Arms Tech and DARPA were working together to produce, or getting ready to mass produce, Metal Gear.
If it hadn't been for the revolution.
The Revolution.
Revolution?
We know about the Revolution.
Rex has fallen into the hands of
But
terrorists.
because the game's designed with the idea of you not going through the briefings,
Metal Gear Rex. The code name
it
for the new
sprinkle
Metal Gear
feeds it.
prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead.
Hey,
and
Johnny.
used with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping weapons.
Hey!
shut up in there, will ya?
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course, there is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes, Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of Arms Tech.
That's right.
Say
Each
it.
of us needs to input
Oh
our
god, it takes.
password,
I
or
forget.
there can be
There's
no
so much, like, little shit. Here it is.
They found out.
They found out his password. Okay, that's not good.
Talked.
Psycho Mantis can
They
read
used
people's
Psycho
minds.
Mantis to read his mind.
can't
Oh
resist.
no.
Psycho Mantis.
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
We already know about Psycho Mantis
Just
as
a
well.
matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password,
Yes, they'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
what?
The card keys.
Card keys.
They were designed by Arms Tech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that,
Yes, you can stop the launch.
That card key.
So she
So
knows
where
he has
are
a
the
card key.
keys?
Wait a minute. Meryl has a card
Baker should
key.
have them.
Or knows about it at
You
least.
need 3 card keys.
We need
There are
3?
3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
okay. 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the second floor basement.
Second floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes, they cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them.
Fun fact.
Why don't you look for the areas?
There are
walls,
three places we can go in the main area, I think.
Here.
Or there's
take
4
this.
places in total
It's
we can
my
bust.
ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door.
Level 1,
It's
let's
called
go!
It works together.
We
with
can
the
get a
body's own
suppressor
network.
and a cardboard box. That's very important.
Personal area network, huh?
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices,
This doesn't work until the remake, the first
And the
remake,
doors will open automatically.
Twin Snakes,
Gotcha.
and Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the power.
Why
have
would you want to
From
know
your bosses
about
or
that,
anything?
Anderson?
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
Mighty,
So does the White
mighty,
House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
mighty
That's their
weird that you're
problem.
questioning
It has
the
nothing to
soldier
do with
who's
my
trying
orders.
to save you.
But what about the Pentagon?
What's that sound?
Pentagon. What is it?
Hey, what happened?
Dead.
Do you, like, for those that are probably
Naomi, the chief. What happened?
new to the series,
I don't know.
the amount of
Looked like a heart
cutscene
attack,
and lore you're
Heart
seeing
attack.
is par for the course.
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
Colonel.
Absolutely not. Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access
Now we've
to
already
the
went
file?
over the briefing.
I told you.
The Secretary of Defense is in operational control.
I'm just here as your support. Snake.
Remember the
don't
thing
have
about
time to
no
debate.
lies?
Get out of there and find President Baker.
Any goodies? We don't really need the ration. This is a little trick you can do. Hello there. Also, hello there. Because as soon as you step out, it activates the next part. Milliseconds of gameplay before the next cutscene. Milliseconds.
Don't move. So you killed the chief, you bastard. Liquid? No, you're not. Don't move.
Is this the first time you
Fun
ever
fact, the
got a
reason that they
person?
used the FAMAS
Your
as the
hands are
weapon
shaking.
was because that how boxy the weapon looked.
Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar.
It was
nervous
easier
glance,
to render that weapon.
scared look in your eyes. They're rookie's eyes if I ever saw them. You've never shot a person, am I right?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
I told you I'm no rookie.
You're not one of them, are you?
This is technically the first boss fight. It's less of a boss
Open that
fight,
door.
more of a
You got a
entity
card,
swarm.
don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here.
Looks like we'll be a little delayed. What are you doing? Don't think.
Shoot.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie?
I'm telling you, shoot!
I have stun grenades, no explosives. I've done that a lot. Watch the way she walks. That's actually very important
Thanks for the help.
for the story. I'm not joking.
Wait!
Focus on the ass.
Who are you?
So,
You fool!
wait.
You've killed him! I'm sorry,
But this is weird. His mental shielding was strong. Doesn't that kind of look like the DARPA chief? Now wait a minute then. Wait a minute. Fun fact. It took me 2 playthroughs before I realized what that was insinuating. And what that's telling you, like that early. Mind you, they tell you later on the fact, but for the longest time I was still confused. I didn't get it.
Good girl. Just like that.
So we know about all of the Foxhound individuals, right?
Naomi,
All of the
I
boss
just had
fights.
some kind of hallucination. Is it from the nanomachines?
I love
No,
that.
Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
A hallucination
So what
from
was
the
it?
nanomachines.
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound's psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
Mental feedback
so that
loop.
was Mantis.
So, again, like I said, since this is a spoiler playthrough, Donald Anderson is not this person. Decoy Octopus is this person. It makes sense why some of the questions they ask seem a little bit off, you know? How they ask about, like, giving into the demands of the terrorists. They're adamant about it being a revolution. Not that it was an uprising or anything like that. He also asks us so much about, like, oh, hey, do you know any other way to deactivate it? Because he wants to make sure, because they know information we don't. Mind you, the information we need to have becomes a bit more pertinent later. Fun fact. Dude wasn't wearing any underwear in that vest. He's knocked out in the middle of... Even if it is inside, this is still a very fucking cold place. Is there anything else I'm missing? No. Now we go to the next part, which is both the armory and the next boss fight. There should be nobody here. But as you can see, and here, that is one of the fake walls right here. You can see that it's been painted over. That's one of the coolest things about this game and this franchise, that there are multiple ways that you can utilize the information that you get. Like, information revolving around sound, sight, stuff like that. in order to get access to certain things, like locations you might not normally be able to get access to. And now by heart, I should know exactly where they all are. Like one's right over here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it all the way at the end over here? It's all the way at the end over here. Well, let's talk to Nastasha about C4 first.
That is C4 explosive. A plastic
We might have
explosive
missed a
with
couple of
texture
codec calls right
similar
by
to
the DARPA
clay.
chief, by the way.
You can shape it in almost any way you want. Although it has 1.4 times the destructive power of dynamite, it is highly stable and won't explode without a detonating device, even if it is shot, burned, or beaten. You are using a wireless detonator, yes? The detonator is equipped with a scrambler, so you don't have to worry about interference from any other radio source. Make sure you are sufficiently far enough away when it goes off. Also,
and there are
as you
multiple
know,
ways to defeat
the
certain
sound
bosses
of the
too.
Explosive will alert your enemies, so be careful.
One. Two and three should be over here. Trying to think. Might not be able to use the C4 on this next boss coming up. But yeah, we probably won't do nearly as many codec calls as long as, like, unless it's the one that I know about giving us the goods. So fun fact about this C4. There is enough C4 to open up all the secret areas. Oh, we need level 4. Level 4 and... Is that both level 4 or level... Yeah, level 6. So we might as well come back here when we get level 6. Boss fight!
Am I too late? He's alive. You're the Arms Tech president, Kenneth Baker, right? Don't worry. I'm here to save you.
No, don't touch it.
C4. Lots of C4.
Right. Touch that wire, and the C4 will blow up along with the old man. So you're the one that the boss keeps talking about.
And you?
Special Operations Foxhound. Revolver Ocelot. I've been waiting for you, Solid Snake. Now we'll see if the man can live up to the legend. This is the greatest handgun ever made. The Colt Single Action Army. 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves. Now I'll show you why they call me Revolver.
Actually, your real code name is Shalashashka.
Draw!
Which we learn about in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Draw! Hiding won't help you. I understand the bullets you see. I make them go where I want.
Ah, bitch.
I love to reload during a battle. There's nothing like the feeling of slam.
Should have waited. Should have waited for that.
Alive. Let's Let's go. Hiding won't help. You better hurry up, yo. Don't you want to settle this? I love the smell of porter. But to you, it'll be the smell of your own death. Wait a minute.
Fuck. Ah, I got stuck on the thing. Damn it, he was behind the dam. Come on, you bitch.
Wait a minute.
Shit, didn't lock on like I wanted it to.
Wait a minute.
Got him.
You're pretty good. Just what I'd expect.
You're pretty
from a
good.
man with the same code as the boss. It's been a long time since I had such a good fight, but I'm just getting warmed up.
Phase 2.
What?
Never mind.
My hand!
Ocelot's getting real fucked up. We kicked his ass a bit.
Stealth
Then this dude came along, fucked him up a bit, took his hand.
Right.
He knows who that is.
We'll meet again. Who are you?
Wait,
I like you.
was there a suppressor on that?
That exoskeleton.
No, I was mistaken. It looked like there was. Now there is a suppressor on my gun. That's actually a little bit of a glitch. I don't think I picked up the suppressor yet. There's not supposed to be a suppressor on this cutscene. I have not picked up a suppressor yet for this weapon.
Can you talk?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Not one of them. The DARPA chief told me he gave them his detonation
What's
code.
so funny
What about
is...
yours?
Oh, I get it. Jim sent you. You're from the Pentagon.
Answer my question.
There's so many more
What about your
cutscenes that are
code?
gonna pop
There's no
up.
time.
I'd talk.
Oh, they have both codes
What?
now.
Now the terrorists have both codes and can launch any time.
It's not like I didn't fight. I managed to resist Psycho Mantis'.
You managed to resist the mind probe.
He
How?
controlled you?
How do you resist it?
Surgical implants in my brain.
Surgical implants?
Kind of like a psychic insulation. Everyone who knows these top secret codes has it.
Even
But
the
wait.
DARPA chief?
Of course.
But the DARPA chief said Mantis
How
got
did
his
Mantis...
code by reading his
Again,
mind.
we already know the truth because I revealed it.
You heard him right?
But
Yeah, I'm sure. In that case...
this
how did you
game,
get
right
your-
off the beginning, is telling you there is shit that you should be aware of that you're not. Right? And for a first playthrough, you
Looks
probably
like you
shouldn't
had
know
some
this
fun
shit.
with you, all right.
Unless you watch my dumb ass and I spoil it for you. Again, apologies, but I'm doing a spoiler playthrough.
What happened to your arm?
He broke it.
Looks
Well,
like
you're more than even now. His was sliced
sliced
off.
Ha, you're a funny man. So the DARPA chief, is he okay?
Dead.
What? Can't be. No, that's not what you promised, Jim. Now you want to shut
Jim
me
is the
up?
person who's currently in charge of this operation,
Calm down.
by the way.
What's wrong with you? I just told you I was here to save you. I didn't kill the DARPA chief. He had a heart attack or something.
A heart attack? Oh, don't be a fool.
Anyway, the terrorists have both codes now.
Those boys are totally insane. They wouldn't hesitate to launch.
I agree, but what do they really want?
Oh, who knows? Maybe they're like us in the arms industry, always looking forward to the next good war.
Well, I'm not gonna let these maniacs start a war today. You still have the card keys?
Card keys?
To override the detonation code. I heard you had them.
Now notice
No,
he says card keys in question mark. Wait,
Not the
card
terrorists.
keys?
No.
He's not aware of
That
multiple keys.
Woman.
At least it doesn't seem like that.
A soldier that was thrown in prison along with me.
A female soldier, it must be.
She said she had just joined up as a new recruit. They threw her in prison because she refused to take part in the rebellion.
A new recruit? Could that be the Colonel's niece?
I gave her the key.
Gave her the key.
Looks like she managed to break out of here, though. I hope she's okay.
The key?
Sure she
What do you
is.
mean, just the key?
She's
What about the
green,
other
but
two?
as tough as they come. But how did you know she escaped?
I was in contact with her
Again,
by codec
knowledge.
until I was tied up here, that is.
But this is shit that they tell you that you
Yes,
don't notice
she
the
still
first
has it in the
playthrough.
guard.
Like, you don't notice
She
this
still
shit.
has it.
Especially
You should be able to
when I
contact
played
her.
it when I was like
I'm sure she still has it. What frequency was she at?
Oh, yeah.
7?
Let me tell you, it's... Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Damn!
Oh, that's right. It should be on the back of the CD case.
The
I'd
actual
like to
fucking
contact
CD
her.
case
I'll
of the
contact
game,
her right
by the
away.
way.
But tell me, if this doesn't work, is there some other way to prevent the missile launch?
You need to find Hal Emmerich, one of my employees.
Who's that?
The team leader of the Metal Gear Rex project. A genius at engineering, but a little bit of an oddball. If there's anyone who can figure out how to stop Metal Gear from launching, it's him.
What if he can't come up with anything?
You'll have to destroy it. Emmerich knows how to destroy Metal Gear.
Where is this Emmerich?
Well, he's probably being held somewhere in the nuclear warhead storage building. It's north from here. That's where he worked.
I understand, but why Metal Gear? The nuclear age ended with the turn of the millennium.
Oh, you're wrong. The threat of nuclear war isn't gone. In fact, it's greater than it's ever been.
I don't care how many times I play through this game. It's very rarely will I skip through the cutscenes.
Listen, have you ever seen a warehouse full of nuclear material?
No.
Drums and drums of nuclear waste stacked this high, as far as you can see. Because there's still no real way to dispose of the stuff.
So they just close the lid and try to pretend like it'll go away?
Essentially, yes. And they're not even doing a good job of storing it. Many of the drums are corroded, with nuclear waste seeping out of them.
Unbelievable.
Not only that, but several pounds of MUF are reported every year.
MUF?
It stands for material unaccounted for. It proves that there's a large and well-organized black market in nuclear materials. Furthermore, since the end of the Cold War, Russian nuclear engineers in particular are out of work with no way to turn. In other words, there's plenty of available nuclear material and scientists for making a bomb. We live in an age when any small country can have a nuclear weapons program.
What about the other superpowers?
Russia and China still maintain a significant nuclear presence. Complete nuclear disarmament is an impossibility. To maintain our own policy of deterrence, we need a weapon of overwhelming power.
And that's when Metal Gear comes in.
You mean Metal Gear?
Yes. You know our industry suffered quite a blow as a result of the cuts in military budgets due to this so-called peace.
I remember hearing a lot about mergers and takeovers among the big weapons makers.
Yes. And after my company lost their bid to produce the Air Force's next line of fighter jet, the Metal Gear system was our last ace in the hole. That's why we pushed to have Metal Gear developed as a black project.
Black project?
Secret projects paid for by the Pentagon's black budget. You can avoid a lot of red tape and get a great lead time on your weapons production. And no one can bother you. Not even those bleeding heart liberals on the Military Oversight Committee.
Bribes.
I prefer to think of it as good business. Anyway, Metal Gear was going to be formally adopted after the results of this exercise were analyzed.
I don't give a crap about you and your company.
Yes, that's about what I'd expect from a grunt like you. Here, this is what you came for, right?
What's that?
An optical disc. It's all here. The main hard drive was destroyed by gunfire. This is the only remaining copy of the data.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise. Don't play dumb. I know you were sent to get this. I hid it from that sadistic maniac while he was torturing me. They don't know this disc exists. Make sure you report this to Jim. To your boss. I'll give you my card too. It'll open up all security level 2 doors.
Can you walk?
No. No, you go on without me. They got my password. They don't want anything else from me.
I have one more question. Who or what was that ninja thing? It looked like you knew something.
That ninja? That was Foxhound's dark little secret.
Dark little secret?
An experimental genome soldier.
You know him?
You should ask Dr. Naomi Hunter from Foxhound. She knows better than I.
Naomi?
You've got to stop them. If it goes public, my company and I are finished.
What? Doesn't Metal Gear use currently existing technology?
Metal Gear itself does, but... What did you do to me? Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Those Pentagon bastards. So, they actually went and did it.
What are you talking about?
They're just using you for...
Second individual we've tried to get information from that has died
Hell.
to a heart attack.
Colonel, are you
Curious
listening?
and
Now he's
curiouser.
dead, too.
I have no idea.
Really sounds like you don't, Colonel.
It looked like another heart attack, but...
Some kind of poison?
Well, there are lots of drugs that can cause a heart attack in large doses. For example, potassium chloride or dioxides, but we won't be able to tell without doing an autopsy.
Damn.
Snake, I want you and Meryl to work together.
Can I trust her?
More than you can trust me. Get in contact with her.
Snake, there's a lot of electrical interference coming from there.
If I said your name, it was on accident, but I didn't say your name.
Transmission is probably impossible. Try moving away from that area.
I was talking about...
Get a hold of yourself.
Naomi. What the
It's
hell was that
curiouser
ninja
and
thing?
curiouser how we got another person who died to a heart attack.
Are you sure?
Yes, we have no...
Somebody in the game might have said something close to Yuri.
Is that right?
Snake, I'm counting on you.
Or about Russians. Hey, we got a health upgrade. Let's go. Oh, that's right. That's a level 4. Is it level 4? Yeah, level 4 door. But yeah, you can kind of talk to everybody about the jamming that's happening in this area, why it's happening. Oh, also, technically we leveled up because we can hold more ammo now and more grenades and shit like that too. That's something that I kind of forgot about because, like, I think the way that it actually works legitimately is with the key cards. Like, we're gonna get level 3 here not too far from now, and then we'll be level 3. Our health will go up. Our weapons will be able to hold more ammo. Now we have opponents here to worry about and deal with. And we can also get level 2 shit. Bunch of pineapples. Now, here's where the cigarettes come into handy. to see the lasers. Talk to Meryl.
Who are you?
I was really impressed with the way you busted yourself out of there.
The one from the prison?
You're the Colonel's niece, Meryl, right?
No, it's not him. Just exactly who are you?
I'm the fool that your uncle sent all alone into the middle of this whole mess.
You came by yourself? You think you're some kind of one-man army?
I don't need lectures. You're just like your uncle, you know?
How do you know my uncle?
We go way back.
What's your name?
My name's not important.
Aha. Could you be Snake?
Just by Snake saying
Snake?
that.
That's what some people call me.
The legendary Solid Snake? You?
We're gonna get more into why he doesn't like to be a
Sorry
legend
about
soon.
before. I wasn't sure if you were one of the good guys.
But I knew you were.
How?
It's your eyes.
My eyes.
They're not soldiers' eyes.
And they're rookies' eyes, right?
No, they're beautiful, compassionate eyes.
Oh, just what I'd expect from the legendary Solid Snake. You trying to sweep me off my feet?
Don't worry, you'll land back on them once you meet me. The reality is no match for the legend, I'm afraid.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Why did you look so surprised when you saw my face?
You know why.
Because you look just like
Again,
him.
You mean the terrorist leader?
the game's
Liquid
designed
Snake?
with the idea of, yeah, you can go
You
through
know
the
him.
briefing,
You're
but
not
if you
brothers,
don't,
are you?
if
I
you
have no
don't,
family.
So what's
it tells
the
you
deal
the
then?
information
Who knows? Why don't you
over
ask him?
time.
But first I want some information. You were involved in this exercise from the beginning. What exactly happened here?
I'm sorry. I was captured along with President Baker right after the terrorist attack.
That's okay. But what is this place? I don't think it's just a nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Boy, oh boy, it's just like them. Nobody told you anything, did they? Okay, you see, this place isn't really for disposing nuclear weapons. This base is owned and operated by a dummy corporation of arms tech.
This is a civilian base?
Right, for the development of Metal Gear.
Civilian with a subcontract to the military.
And the next generation special forces were called here for the test launching of a dummy nuclear
We have a lot of
warhead.
shit like that in existence.
Why Foxhound?
Actually.
Because they're a special ops group used to handling top secret missions. They figured they could help keep it all hush-hush.
But we must have fired nuclear warheads before. Why just this time?
I heard it was because this was to be a final test before the formal adoption of the Metal Gear program. Well, that's what I heard anyway.
Sounds kind of fishy. So what do you think the terrorists want?
Sorry. I'm not sure. I was captured with
We
President
actually
Baker
don't find
right
out
after
what the
revolt
demands
started.
are for the terrorists for
Yeah,
quite a while.
That's when he gave you the detonation code override keys, right?
That's right.
Amazing you were able to keep them hidden from the guards.
We might be able to figure out if we
Women
do
have more
codec
hiding
calls.
places than men. Anyway, you met Baker, huh? How's he holding up?
He's dead.
He's dead.
What?
Heart attack. Same as the DARPA chief.
No.
The chief died from a heart attack too?
Yeah. Was either of them sick or anything?
No, not that I heard of.
Well, I don't believe in coincidences. Something funny's going on.
Sounds like it, but I have no idea what.
Me neither. Yet.
Well,
Do you know the person
based off of context clues,
You mean Dr. Emmerich?
Yes. Is he still alive?
when dude was talking to us,
Probably.
we're being
He should
used
be in the research lab in the
for
second
some
floor
reason that's
basement of the
associated with
nuclear
them getting
warhead
heart
storage
attacks.
building to
I
the
know
north.
why.
Second floor basement.
Yeah, that's where his lab is. I think they're forcing him to work on the nuclear launching program.
So they'll need him alive until that's done anyway.
Then we better do something before he finishes.
You're right. In case we can't override the detonation code in time, I need to ask him how to destroy Metal Gear.
You plan to take that thing on by yourself, Snake?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Won't be the first time.
Ah,
What's the best way to get to the building where the doctor is being held?
there's a cargo door on the first floor of this building that leads to the north.
What's the security level of the door there?
5. But it's okay. I've got a level 5 card.
Well, I've got to go save the doctor. You should go.
How the hell does
going
she
with
have a
you.
level 5
No
card?
way. You're still too green.
Right?
I want you to hide somewhere.
I'm not green.
Oh, yes, you are.
Well, she would
You
have to
pause
have a
for
level
just 1
5
second
card
in front of your enemy and it's
after
all
she,
over. Good luck doesn't last
jacked
forever.
Johnny.
I don't know what happened. I just couldn't pull the trigger right away. I never had any problems in training, But when I thought about my bullets tearing through those soldiers' bodies, I hesitated.
Shooting at targets and shooting at living, breathing people are different.
Ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamed about being a soldier. Every day of my life, I've trained my mind and body for the one day when I could finally see some real action. And now...
So what now? You want to quit?
I can't quit. I can't allow myself to quit now.
Listen, Meryl. Everybody feels sick the first time they kill someone. Unfortunately, killing is one of those things that gets easier the more you do it. In a war, all of mankind's worst emotions, worst traits come out. It's easy to forget what a sin is in the middle of a battlefield.
But this isn't a war. It's a terrorist action.
You're just a little jumpy from the combat high.
It might not be a war, but...
Just take it easy.
But I learned all about combat high at the academy.
It's very similar concepts,
We'll
the same goddamn thing there.
For now, just think about keeping yourself alive.
If I get out of here alive, I'll think about that other stuff.
Okay. Let me try to say this another way. Stay the hell out of my way.
You're a real bastard. Just like my uncle said.
Huh. I told you. The real me is no match for the legend.
It looks like you were right. Okay,
Cute.
Snake. I'll be a good girl.
We'll link up
But
after
yeah,
I grab the doctor. Then we'll take care of the detonation code override.
Gotcha. But listen.
In this game, yeah, you kind of are forced to commit violence as the answer.
Be careful, okay?
After I open up the cargo door, I'll contact you.
So, there is that, like, that's pretty much the way that you get forced into having the conversation. Oh, let's talk to Master Miller again.
People who have been through war and survived develop a kind of sixth sense to warn them of danger. Trust your instincts as a soldier, as a gamer.
A little bit of a fourth wall break there. But yeah, this game has a lot of backtracking, and there's actually a way to get that backtracking a bit easier. Oh shit. This game has fast travel. I'm not joking. This game actually has fast travel. I think we can go through most of the areas up top now. It's gonna take a minute to get fast travel access, though.
Snake,
I unlocked the cargo door for you.
Thanks. Where are you?
Where I can see ya.
Don't move around too much.
Don't worry, I'm disguised in this enemy uniform.
With the way that you walk.
You won't be for long with the way you walk.
What does that mean? Nothing.
Nothing.
Remember?
Listen, Snake,
it's imperative to the plot that you remember how her ass shakes while she walks. I'm not joking either.
If an intruder is sensed, gas is released.
Gas?
Okay, so we'll meet at the nuclear warhead storage building.
Wait, you said you'd stay put and be a good girl.
I changed my mind.
Don't get careless. That's when things always turn sour.
Sorry, but this is the only way I can figure out whether or not I'm cut out to be a soldier. I gotta get my hands dirty.
These guys are professionals. You're gonna get yourself killed.
See you there.
Just totally ignores his ass. Do not go through there yet. Let's go get our suppressor. And now, we can kill some people without making noise. Let's go. Cardboard box A. Not what I wanted to do.
The cargo door is open already. If you exit there and go north, you'll get to the Warhead storage building where Dr. Emmerich is being held. I'll head there now and wait for you.
To heliport is written on it. That's important for the fast travel, by the way. I want to try to at least fast travel one time before I, level 4. I mean, there's level 1 down there, I think, or level 2 down there. But I wanted to get the mine detector. Wait a minute. I'm missing the thermal goggles. There's a couple places you can get the thermal goggles at, but I don't remember that. I don't remember where they're at on the first occasion. I know you can get them, like, in this area. We don't necessarily need it, though. Wait until he's going... Oh, bullshit! Bullshit!
What's that?
Aggravated about that. So aggravated about that. Now, fun fact, you'll notice it here, but there's a tank missing. Here's another fun fact. You actually don't need to use the... You do not need to use your cigarettes for this. You can actually use the naked eye. It's hard to see, but you can still do it.
Snake. That airlock is set with infrared sensors. You probably can't see them with your naked eyes, but there are infrared beams coming out of that wall. Touch any one of them, and the doors will seal off, and the place will be flooded with poison gas. Somehow, you've got to get through without setting off those sensors.
Wait. I actually can't see them. Normally you can. Ah, whatever. But this is why you want to use cigarette smoke, to see the lasers like that. It's nice to have if you don't have the infrared, because the infrared will show you the lasers pretty easily. Also, fun fact, that door's level 5, this door's level 2 though. Oh, one of the greatest characters of all time.
Snake, be careful. There are claymore mines around there. Use a mine detector.
Who are you?
Just call me Deep Throat.
All right, Deep Throat.
The
Lay informant from the Watergate scandal?
Never mind about that.
You're not using burst transmission. Are you nearby?
Listen, there's a tank in front of your position waiting to ambush you.
Who are you, anyway?
One of your fans.
Wait.
Colonel, I got a codec call from someone outside this operation.
I know. We were monitoring the call. Mei Ling knows everything about the communication system, so let me have her explain it to you.
Well, if somebody knows your frequency, they can call
Unique codec calls because of events that happen in the world.
It's top secret information.
So you mean someone leaked the information?
That's the only explanation I can think of.
Mei Ling, do you know where that transmission originated from?
I'm sorry.
Inside the
reporters
house!
were too weak to locate their source, but I'm sure he's near you, somewhere on the base.
Snake, you'll have to go through the minefield to advance.
That area is mined? After you locate the mines on your radar, crawl forward and retrieve them. Anti-personnel mines have killed over 20,000 non-combatants in the past 30 years. In countries like Cambodia and Nicaragua, the killing and maiming of innocent victims continues long after the wars have ended. It is easy to plant mines, you see, but removing them is a different matter. It requires more time and manpower than anyone is willing to invest. The superpowers need to donate more mine detectors and other equipment to remove them. It is the least we could do after laying them.
The place is mined? Well, if you use a mine detector, you'll be able to see the mines displayed on your radar.
Oh, she doesn't tell us because we have the mine detector. Anyways, boom. These claymores are actually useful for the battle that we're about to go in. You know, the ambush of the tank. Fun fact, if you don't pick these claymores up, they're there during the fight. Also, pretty cool that you can see the tank treads through the snow. I'm tempted to let myself blow up, but we'll give it the old college try.
Snakes don't belong in Alaska. I will not let you pass. Send him a
After
message.
this boss fight and the codec calls, we'll probably wrap up with this part for Metal Gear Solid 1.
That's right. You belong on the ground. You should crawl on the ground like the snake you are. Come, let's fight.
So this fight is actually really difficult, right? We can get information from all of them. Pretty sure Natasha's going to be like, hey, you can use the chaff to mess with the tank. We can either use C4 or the claymores to fuck with the treads. Let's go down the list.
Snake, look out for that tank's main gun. It'll pulverize you. There should be some way. Ask Nastasha. She knows everything there is to know about weapon systems.
So, if you actually utilize the codec, you can get a lot of information from different people. No response from Master. That's kind of weird. Is that like that during every boss fight?
No matter how good you are, there's no way you can match up against an M1 tank. All you can do is try to take out the person in the driver's seat. With grenades, you should be able to attack the soldier on top of the tank, too.
Wow, it really does just tell you how to do it. That's kind of funny.
That M1 tank is equipped with advanced Victronics. Once it locks onto a target, it automatically tracks it. And its main gun is effective up to 3,000 meters. To get close, you'll have to confuse its tracking system. Use your chaff.
That's why I equipped the chaff right off the rip.
Get close enough, it won't be able to use its main gun. Use your chaff at a long distance to fool its electronic systems.
Fun fact, I fight this fight the hard way a lot of the time. Oh, we're dead. We're not dead. Damn, didn't get in. Ah.
See how you like this?
Right in. Perfect fucking throw. Let's go. It went right in. Because if we went off to the side, we would have had to hit him with one more grenade. But if it goes right in, it does the rest of the damage. Level up. Level 3 card. Let's go.
Boss, I hope you are happy. He got the card.
We'll play with him a little longer.
You would be wise not to underestimate him.
I just fucked up a tank with 2 grenades.
Think of him.
He is just as you said. In battle, he is as if possessed by a demon, much like you.
I threw a chaff, got rolled over by your tank after I tried to blow up your treads with the claymore, and then tossed 2 grenades into your fucking gunner's cockpit thing.
As well as your dignity.
Watch your tongue, shaman.
In the language of the Sioux people, Sioux means snake. It is known as an animal to be feared.
Well, Snake is mine now. When I meet him next, I'll take special care of him.
Not yet. Don't kill him yet.
He and I will meet again in battle.
Same prediction as always?
Yes.
The raven on my head thirsts for his blood. You know I played this game way too many times when I just know certain lines off the top of my head. But yes. That's why I tried not to heal there, because we get a little bit of a heal right after we do the mission. I'm gonna go all the way up to full. And we'll part this out and I'll continue playing this. Today is a rare occasion. We're getting a 3-parter for today. We started with Minecraft and then started Metal Gear. Because I wanted to get as much Metal Gear as possible down. And I'm not quite done, but I also don't want this to go on for too long. Like, I want to try and stick to the like around 3 hours-ish at max for a part for the stream. Upload to Twitch. I mean to YouTube. Not to Twitch. From Twitch to YouTube. Anyways. When we continue part 2, we're going to do a couple codec calls. We might back up to get a couple of resources from back there, because there are some things we can collect. Now that we've got a level 3 card, we could go all the way back. But I kind of don't want to do that. It'd be more worthwhile to wait till we have a level 4 card, at the very least. Which I think we end up getting level 4 after we meet with Emmerich. However, until then, that's going to be it for me for you, YouTube. If you enjoyed your stay here at the Kingdom, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well as my main for YouTube watchers. Links will be down in the description below through all my links. Exclamation point links for those watching live or the VOD. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. Catch me when I do go live at 6 p.m. EST EDT Friday through Monday. Invite link to the community Discord, where you can always get the most accurate notifications whenever I do go live, if I'm going to be a little bit late or early to a stream outside of a half hour, or as long as I know I'm going to be late, as well as where you can communicate with other citizens of the kingdom. Whatever else catches your fancy through all my links, and until next time, take care, and have a good one. Bye-bye.